You know, one of Kirby's most iconic traits is that he's pink. That's an odd shade of pink. Kirby, Kirby, Kirby. I've never been the biggest Kirby fan. Yeah, I've always been more into harder platformers, like my beloved Donkey Kong Country. That combined with the fact that they kind of pump these games out, used to make me really question their quality. But now I must admit there is a great place in the market for these games. It all goes back to the amazing creative vision Masahiro Sakurai had when creating the original Kirby's Dream Land. Kirby's Dream Land is a 1992 2D platformer released for the original Game Boy, developed by HAL Laboratories, published by Nintendo, and directed by the brilliant Masahiro Sakurai. In the game, you play as Kirby and travel right while dodging enemies, obstacles, and bottomless pits. But the difference between this game and other platformers is that Kirby has some special abilities. With the press of the B button, Kirby can open his mouth and inhale. This allows you to suck in enemies and objects and spit them back out as projectiles. This is your primary form of attack, and it is truly genius as it forces you to use your surroundings and even other enemies' attacks to your advantage. Kirby's flight ability is also ingenious, as it allows the player to choose their own difficulty. If a part is giving them trouble, they can just fly over it. But if you're a true gamer, you can get through the game only flying when necessary. The flight isn't too powerful either, as you can only fly as high as the screen lets you. When you cancel your flight, Kirby also shoots a projectile, as to not leave you vulnerable. The game centers around the evil King Dedede, who steals all the food in Dreamland, and it's up to Kirby to stop him. Each level has a cute animation of Kirby before it starts, and then you're into the game. Level 1, Green Greens. This level does a great job of teaching the player the mechanics. There are plenty of enemies to spit out, add other enemies, and pits to jump over, and areas to fly to. As the level ends with you climbing a tree and fighting Wispy Woods by using his apple projectiles against him. Level 2, Castle Low Low Low. This level is a little more maze-like, as you're in an enclosed space going through a lot of different doors trying to find the correct way. However, every room feels interesting, like there's a lot going on in each room, and you're never going to get lost. There's enemies, cannons, a microphone that clears all the enemies on the screen, water, plenty of healing items. The boss is Lololo and La La La. They push blocks around from one side of the screen to the other, and you need to spit back at them. Level 3, Float Islands. This level is back to being a more traditional platformer stage, but it is a little more challenging. There's a wide variety of new enemies such as Waddle Doos. There's a food power-up that allows you to shoot fireballs. The boss has you use an infinitely flying power-up as you chase down a hot air balloon that's firing a cannon. Level 4, Bubbly Clouds. This level is a lot harder with this flying eyeball mini-boss that's really difficult, as it swoops down and shoots cannonballs and Waddle Doos. Then at the end of the level, he turns into a cloud for the main boss and becomes even harder. Other than that, this level has a lot of blocks to break, multiple power-ups, and more new enemies like Parasol Waddle Dees, the Cutter enemies, and these flying guys that become angry and explode if you try to inhale them. Level 5, Mount Dedede. This level has different doors that you can tackle in any order. Each door has a short platforming challenge based on a previous level, followed by a harder rematch against that level's respective boss. After completing all 4 doors, you unlock the King Dedede fight. King Dedede is an insanely difficult fight. He has a ton of health and a lot of attacks. If you're in the air, he'll do a jumping hammer strike. If you're on the ground, he'll do a face plant or an inhale of his own. The only attacks you can counter are his grounded hammer strike and his super Dedede jump. After he does one of those attacks, he'll briefly be surrounded by stars that you can inhale and spit back at him. After defeating Dedede, Kirby inflates into a hot air balloon and carries Dedede's castle as the food is returned to the good people of Dreamland. Yes, overall, I'd say Kirby's Dream Land is a fun little game that's elevated by some genius design decisions, and a fun and creative world, built around 2 rivals competing to see who is fatter.